Good day Chulbammers. We have another DIY idea here for bathroom wall. This is the wall slats made from plywood for bathroom wall accent. Let's go, I'll show you how to do it. Before we begin, we have to think a design and measure the length and width of the wall where we would like to put our project. After gathering all the necessary measurements, we can start it by cutting the plywood to your desired design using saw if you don't have a power tool. If you're using a power tool like mine, make sure that you will use the cutting disc for cutting metal. If you ask me, Chulbam, why we use a cutting disc for cutting metal not for wood when we're doing a project made out of plywood. This is because cutting disc has a clean cuts for thin wood sheets like plywood without leaving any scratched marks. And you can maintain the stability while following the marked line that the wood cutting wheel can't do because of the blade's teeth that makes it less controllable and it jumps even in your tight grip of the angle grinder. Just like what I did here, I had made a clean cuts and less cleaning. I don't need a sandpaper anymore to smoothens the worked surface. I had avoided any unnecessary mistakes in cutting. And in terms of safety and ergonomic advantage, I preferred using metal cutting disc than wood cutting wheel with teeth because using cutting disc for metal is much easier to handle, save time and efforts and less to no chance of hurting yourself, especially if you use it with extra care and undivided presence of mind. I cut several slat sheets like this measuring 2 inches width to make a distance of 2 inches apart from each other. We will glue these slat sheets together with the plywood that we prepared earlier, the one that has slanted cutting design. But before we go to that procedure, I need to make a 1/2 inch gap to fit our 14/7 gauge stranded wire for mirror side wall lights. I have to make sure that the gap that I will make on the plywood can be concealed by placing slat sheet on top of it as a cover. The gap should not be wider than 1/2 inch and not too narrow also for the 2 stranded wire placed between the gap side by side together to avoid the slat cover to protrude. The slat sheets will be placed on top of the plywood and it should look like these. You have to carefully observe the distance with each other. It should be equally distributed with an exact distance of 2 inches for my project, but it depends on your preference because the measurements may vary to your project size. Put a wood adhesive on the surface where you need to glue the slats. Repeat these procedure until you reach the other side. For a better results, let it dry for several hours. I cannot name any wood glue brand, but you can easily find this to the nearest hardware in your place. You can buy this either in can or in pouch. After tested that they are already strongly bond, I have to cut all excess slats to shape it into the desired design. But before we continue to our project, Chulbammers, I am asking for your help to please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel, Chulbam DIY and Helpful Tips. And please don't forget to hit the notification bell for more updates and videos regarding helpful tips that may be useful to our daily life. Drill holes for the screws to hold the wall slats accent in place. Follow the hole eyelets to drill a small pit into the wall tiles enough for the tocks to fit inside. Tocks and screws are very important in these projects for the reason that helps the wall slats accent to hold in place and to withstand the weight of the mirror. I already varnished it using mahogany color and I have punched a small hole also for the stranded wires to get through. This is the back view where the stranded wires attached to it, and this is the front view where the stranded wire for wall light get through the small hole. Now, we have to install this to the bathroom wall. But before that, we have to put a generous amount of wood glue and scatter it all over the back surface of the wall accent. It's not really the best adhesive for wood and tile binding, but it will do. Place it into the bathroom wall where it is supposed to be. Make sure that every corners of it is properly positioned with no gaps in every sides and the eyelets of the screw holes are on direct spots with the tocks, while the adhesive is not yet binding the plywood and the wall tiles. If you are already confident that the wall slats accent is already in place, then set the screws into the tiny eyelets that I drilled earlier and tighten all the screws in. These is the stranded wire that will be connected to the ceiling light source to illuminate the wall light beside the wall mirror together, using the same switch. I will install the wall light that I bought from the local hardware located in our city. This is a cheap type of wall light since I am not super financial capable, but it is sufficient enough to add a glamour to the wall slats accent. The best feature that I like in it is the bulb is replaceable in case it reaches its hours usage limit or already busted or you like to use low wattage bulb for minimal power consumption. It is very easy to install too, since there are only 2 wires in it. It's just load side or positive and the neutral or negative. Now here's our DIY bathroom wall slats accent with wall light. Chulbammers, thanks for watching my video. You're awesome and have a great day.